of Research Foundation of India. Today marks the first day of our faculty development and training program designed to provide a structured approach to research paper writing. In this session, we will delve into two fundamental aspects to academic research: problem identification and formulation, as well as the art of crafting a comprehensive review of literature. This STEAM initiative is a collaborative effort by the Synergy Research Foundation of India and RFI-CARE in association with Pal University, Gujarat. It is further supported by renowned institutions such as Shon Malwa, Eklavya University, JHJRF, ARGA, and EduAcademic. Before we proceed, allow me to highlight the commendable work of the Research Foundation of India. Dedicated to advancing education and research, RFI actively promotes Indian scholarship through a variety of academic events, including international and national conferences, seminars, workshops, and symposia. RFI serves as a global platform for the exchange of intellectual ideas, fostering innovation and scholarly inquiry. The foundation also spearheads research and development initiatives in higher education, forging strategic partnerships through memorandum of understanding with leading universities across India. With over 87 chapters in India and 18 chapters worldwide, RFI operates across 5 regional boards: West, East, South, North, and Central. Notably, RFI remains independent of governmental sponsorship, ensuring autonomy and integrity in its mission. To date, it has successfully organized over 1,000 international conferences, workshops, FDPs, and symposia. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our esteemed speaker for the session, Dr. Ankita Ma'am, the coordinator of Foreign Affairs at the Research Foundation of India. Madam's academic journey is marked by excellence and dedication. She began her teaching career at Sri Vaishnav Institute of Management and Research, Indore, where she served as an assistant professor in the Department of Management. Prior to this, she contributed her expertise at Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Indore. With over 7 years of teaching experience, she holds PhD from Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Indore. Her academic expertise spans multiple disciplines, including human resource management, entrepreneurship, organizational development, and leadership skills. She further honed her skills through a prestigious 5-week faculty development program at the Indian Institute of Management, Indore. Her commitment to research and innovation is exemplified by her patent publication, which highlights her innovative contribution to digital entrepreneurship. Beyond academia, she has made significant contributions as a keynote speaker, researcher, and active participant in national and international conferences. She has also played a vital role in institutional committees enriching various academic and administrative domains. Her passion for education extends beyond research and teaching. She actively engages in cultural events, motivational speaking, career counseling, and life coaching, inspiring students to strive for excellence. Moreover, she has pursued numerous professional certifications in training and development, digital marketing, and more, reflecting her continuous quest for knowledge and growth. Sorry. With that, I now invite Dr. Ankita ma'am to please commence her presentation. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, Neha, ma'am. And thank you so much, Research Foundation of India, for providing this platform to me and all of us for having this very good FDP program, training program on a systematic way of research paper writing. So this FDP is not about talking about a research paper, but yes, we are going to talk about lots of components of research paper and related information, which will surely help you to understand how exactly you can write a research paper and what are the important components today we are going to discuss about. So in this particular FDP, which is going to focus on about the research paper writing, in which we are going to talk about the problem identification, research problem formulation, and art of writing a review literature on this day one. On the day two, we will be going to talk about hypothesis development and testing. In the third day, we will be talking about the application of SPSS for data analysis, specifically quantitative data analysis. We are going to talk about then understanding ethical issues and the plagiarism. And in the last day, we will be talking about the compiling the references and the bibliography. So this FDP is importantly focusing on the points in which actually people think and have lots of questions, and they try to understand the basic idea behind each of these topics. So the important parts of the studies, research paper writing has been taken into the this particular FDP program. So let's discuss about the first one, which I have already said, that is based on that is having two parts specifically. One is research problem, another one is talking about the literature review. So let me share my slides with you all. Just a minute. Excuse me. I hope my slides are visible and I am audible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's start. So the first part of the study is research problem. So if we talk about it, because we have to talk about two things, one is problem identification, formulation. So before I start this, because we are going to talk about the research paper, so let me tell you one thing, that there is a particular format of a research paper. That first it starts with the introduction, but before introduction you always see one part, that is abstract. So first we can see the abstract, then there is the first thing which we have to do, that is writing the introduction, doing the review of literature, in which we also identify the research gap. Then there is another part, that is research methodology, which also includes number of things like research design, type of research design, research methodology, and then objectives, hypothesis, sampling, type of like size of sample, sampling technique, tools for data analysis, tools for data collection, and so many things which you are research methods basically, which you are actually going to include in your study. Then the next part comes as results and interpretation, or we also call it research data analysis and interpretation. Then next one is findings and discussion, and the last one is conclusion. So there are so many things which one, and in the last obviously references are also there. So in one research paper, this is not only one research paper, we can say there is a lots of things, and each and every part has its own importance. We cannot skip any of the part, so we have to focus on all the things. So let's talk about it first. So whenever we think of something, something comes in our mind, and we think about doing any of the activity, or we identify any research work to do, anything which we want to research on. So something is there in our mind, and we are going to think about it. There is something bothering, and we really are curious. We are having curiosity to find out what exactly it is. So what is a research problem? So it is a research problem is a definite and a clear expression about an area of concern, a condition to be improved upon, and a difficulty to be eliminated, or a troubling question that exists in a scholarly literature or in a theory or within existing practice. So this definition is defining it very nicely, because it is talking about everything it can be. A research problem can be. So it can be, as I've said, any kind of difficulty which you are facing or having in your mind, which you really want to eliminate, any particular condition which you want the improvement on, any particular area of concern which you are really concerned about anything which is troubling you or you are having in your mind and answering, you want to answer that. So basically it can be existing in your literature, any particular theory or any practices which you are doing. So identifying a research problem involves choosing an area of genuine interest, reviewing the existing literature for identifying the gaps, the research gaps, and staying attuned to the real world issues, any particular thing which is happening currently, and discussing the ideas with the peers. So, considering the theoretical frameworks, exploring the emerging trends, and evaluate the feasibility of your research. So, this is all about the research problem. It can research problem can be a statement about an area of concern. It can be any condition. So now again, what is a research problem? Let me tell you in short. Number one, a research question that needs to be answered, any concept that a researcher wants to understand, any particular crisis that needs to be resolved, any particular situation that needs to be changed, and any reason for dissatisfaction. So you just look into the slide, you will understand research problem can be anything which is there in your mind and you want the solution for the same. So next thing is identification of a research problem. So how to identify? So first, if you want to identify the research problem, you have to review the literature. See, I'll be telling you about the review of literature after that, but let me tell you why it is important. In short, I'll be telling you because, just a minute. Yeah, because whenever you are reviewing any literature, see, in every study, the review literature uh, plays a very important role where you have to understand that if you know that what is already there, it is very easy for you to understand what exactly you want to or you can do. Because if something is already done, what new you are doing? Nothing. So you have to identify that what exactly has done. So after reviewing the literature, after going to the existing knowledge, you can understand what is still left, but which can be identified, which can be explored. So review of literature basically gives us the idea between the existing and the required one, that which thing you want to know. So previously whatever has been done and what is existing content is already available. Now we want to reframe or redo or research on with some different ideas of the study. Then once you are doing the review of literature, obviously you will be able to specify our research purpose. What is the objective of doing this kind of a study? Once it is done, you can collect the data, you can analyze the data, and finally you can report and evaluate the research. And here you will be able to identify the research problem. So this kind of circle, or I must say the process, the cycle happens, and it goes on once you are not able to define and refine your final research problem. So a research problem is a clearly defined issue or a gap in the existing knowledge that a study aims to address. It serves as the foundation of any of the research process. So once you are having a clarity over your research problem, you will be able to set your research objectives. So ultimately, your research problem and research questions are based on this, that you are how good you are doing your review of literature. It is going to clarify your research problem. It serves as the foundation of research process, guiding the development of research questions, the research objectives, and the research methodologies. Basically, once the base is clear, we are having a strong base, it will help you or guide you towards doing the new things. And now, a research problem is a specific issue, difficulty, contradiction, or a gap in knowledge that a researcher aims to address through systematic investigation, and it forms the foundation of study, guiding the research question, research design, and the potential outcomes too. See, there are various definitions. Everybody is talking about the same thing, but they are having a different ideas. So earlier they were talking about research questions, objective and methodology. Here they are going to talk about research question, research design, and the potential outcomes. So how to select, or how to do the selection of a research problem. So once you are going to think about something to search or have a research problem, so first you have to find out, is the research problem is relevant and important? Number two, does the subject area suits to his interest? Like your interest is still suited. Like sometimes what happens, we start with something, but after doing literature review and doing number of things, that might shift from one subject to the another one. Sometimes even if it happens with the scholars, when they prepare their synopsis, they think about something, but when their RDC or DRC committee sits and they finalize their topic, they come up with the something different. A new idea comes in front of them, and they were thinking about something else, they are getting something else. So they have to identify whether the subject area which has been decided is suits to their interest or not. And then, does it contain originality and creativeness? This is again very much important. Reason behind doing literature reviews, again one more important thing, that you are not copying anybody else's idea, or you are not taking any other person's content for any of the work. So basically you have to understand that, does it contain, is it really original idea of yours, you are having something new into it, you have done some creativity, you have added something from your own mind or not. See, I can say the same kind of study can be done in different context. Same problem can be studied in a different context, in different areas, in different perspectives can be taken basically, but it should be different from the previous one. So obviously you had to avoid it, any duplicacy, specifically to avoid the plagiarism and any of the fraud. Then, does the problem require extension of knowledge? Again, you have to understand whether you are having enough knowledge about the subject or the area in which you are going to study, or are you not having enough information about that. So you have to understand this. If not, then you have to gain the knowledge, you have to understand, you have to finalize the situation, and identify the, like, after doing the literature you have to identify that you are doing something new, and also you have to study hard towards the topic which you are studying, so you will understand other different perspective from various authors in that particular subject area. So, or after identifying your interest, the relevance, the importance, the originality and creativity, and also the knowledge level, you then only you will be able to select the research problem. There are so many steps in formulating research problem, different perspective are having different steps. So basically one is identifying a broad topic. Basically you can choose a general area of interest that aligns with your academic or professional goals. You can choose any different particular stream you are in. Then after that you can narrow down, you can choose a topic, and again you can narrow down that particular topic for your study. So after identifying a broad topic, you have to come to the narrow down. So first you have to identify a broad area. So choose a general area of interest that is of your professional or academic goals or your academic interest. Then after that choosing the broad topic, you have to conduct the preliminary research, which means that reviewing the existing literature, a basic understanding of the current knowledge, and identifying the gaps. The broad topic is defined. Now you are studying the conducting the primary research, preliminary research, where you have to understand what is done already and what is not done. After that, you have to narrow down the topic. So basically, you have to focus on a specific aspect of the broader topic that is under researched or contentious. Basically, specifically, once you have defined your broader topic, you already know that what exactly you want to talk about. So you have to see the broader aspect of that. Then now you have to choose the smaller area, narrow down the topic and a specific aspect of the same. So there can be some topics broader after the broader topic, which can be want to narrow down, that can be under research, or it can be any disagreement of something, or you must be having any like something which is not done or having some disagreement or something. So you can think about it as a topic. Then defining the defining the research problem clearly, or defining the problem clearly. So you have to articulate the issue in a concise statement. Then you have to highlight the gap in the knowledge or the practice. And then you have to formulate the research questions, where you have to develop the specific, clear, and feasible question that will guide your investigation. So basically, step by step, you have to check out everything at this stage, because this will be the base of your whole study. So you have to develop, clarify, and find out the feasible questions, so that that can lead towards your investigation. Then you have to assess the feasibility. So you have to ensure that the problem can be addressed within your available resources, time, and access to data. Now, see, sometimes you might be having big dreams about a different type of research. You might be having a very different and very innovative topic in your mind, but sometimes it doesn't gives you full access towards the resources, any particular access to data. Basically, that particular topic never happened, so you are not getting any literature available to that. You are doing very new to the research world, so you have to think about it before you start, that how will you get the data. So you have to ensure that the particular topic or the problem or the research question which you are talking about is addressing. You are having resources available for completion of answering those questions. You are having enough time to complete that study, and you are also having access to the data. So in short, you have to first choose a big area, identify, do some research on it, narrow down and finalizing the topic. Then you have to understand, define that particularly special the problem clearly, and then you have to formulate the research question in the final way, which should be very clear and feasible. And then you have to assess that feasibility. Basically, whenever in the management specifically, whenever we do any kind of process, whether is it is about setting up the objective, planning, any organizing any of the activity you are doing, or you are having a decision making process, or problem solving, or critical thinking, any of the issue you are talking about, in the last that is important is monitoring, evaluating, and feedback. So whenever you are formulating the final research question, you have to assess the feasibility of the same. So you have to ensure that the research problem is addressable basically. So it can be a simple thing also, that you have to identify the field that which is all about the broader topic. Then you have to select the interest sub area, means the narrow down the topic. And finally, accordingly, you have to assess your objectives, and you have to formulate, and finally you can raise the questions. Now let's talk about the characteristics of a good research problem. So which kind of characteristics research problem should have? So I have already mentioned here that it should be very specific, it should be clear, and it should be having a feasibility in it. Okay, so so that you can understand that is it a proper problem or not. So like this, Here also we have talked about the clarity, the researchability, and we also talked about the feasibility. And we have also talked about the originality of the study, and it should be important enough to study. So if we talk about the clarity, so the problem should be stated clearly and also have some inam like unambiguously. It should be clearly defined. It should not be unclear basically. So an ambiguous problem should not be there, and it should be clearly defined. Also, there is one thing I would like to focus on, that uh, where the people at the very it should be in the layman language that every level of person or a scholar can understand it. Now we talk about the researchability. So it should be possible to investigate the problem through empirical methods. See, it's simple. You, as I have told you, you can dream about anything, but is that dream or the goals are achievable? Because you must have heard in the management, their goals should be smart goals. If we are setting up any of the goals, so the goal should be smart if you know about it. S stands for the goal should be specific. M stands for in the smart, it is M stands for measurable. Then smart and measurable. Then A stands for achievable. T is talking about the time bound. And the last word, sorry, R stands for result oriented. And the last one is T, that is time bound. So smart goals can talk about specific, measurable, achievable, result oriented, and time bound. So you have to always, whenever you are setting up any objectives or research problem or anything, you these five things should be clear. So again, in this, because we are researching, so we have to check about its researchability, whether it is seriously can be researched or not. Then significance. So addressing the problem should contribute valuable insights in that particular field. So do you think that your research is really going to put some contribution or will be going to have any importance in particular field if you are doing to do such kind of studies, any particular valuable insights in this particular field? Now, originality. So the research problem should offer a new perspective or address an unexplored area. So this is very true, that whenever we are identifying a problem, so again, as I have already mentioned, that it should be original, and the idea should be original. Also, creative. Okay, the two words I have used. So one is original as well as the creative. So again, I'm saying that whenever you are creating any idea, again, because it is original and the creative, with the creativity or innovative ideas there, so also again check the researchability of that. So whenever you are doing a good research problem, you are going for it. The idea should be original, should not be copied. The original means that it should not be copied. You should not taken, the idea should not be copied from someone. The ideas can be taken and the new perspective can be added. And also you can address any unexplored area in that particular field which is not done till yet or not has been explored that much. Means it is not that much researched. Now, the feasibility. Again, the scope of the problem should be manageable with the constraint of the study. If there is any problem, there is something, so it should be clear that the scope should be manageable with particular time constraint, any resource constraint if you are having, so it should be manageable. Example of the research problem. Let me give you one example so you will be able to clear about different things. So what is the research problem and the research question? We sometimes use it as synonymously, but yeah, let me tell you. So like, for example, we are having a topic related to mental health in the college students. In that case, the research problem would be, despite increased awareness, the prevalence of the anxiety and depression among the college students remains high, indicating a gap in effective coping strategies. So means like there are so many awareness campaigns are happening. There are lots of things are happening, events are happening, and talking about the mental health and everything. So despite all those things, the prevalence of anxiety and depression is easily seen in the college students, and it remains still high. Also, uh, indicating what a gap of effective coping means there is a gap in identifying the right type of strategy coping up with these things. Now let's talk about the last thing, that is we are going to talk we are also talking about, that is research question. So once you have finalized your topic, you know the research problems, which kind of questions should be framed. So what is the effect of daily mindfulness? For example, we are taking one strategy, that is mindfulness meditation. So what is the effect of daily mindfulness meditation on reducing anxiety levels among college students? It can be yoga, it can be anything, whatever you want to put here. Anything, daily exercises, routine, any particular daily habits, their living style, lifestyles, and everything. Anything you can talk about which are helping, or you're trying to find out different exercises for making affecting these college students for reducing the anxiety. So the first one is talking about the topic, another one is talking about the problem, and third one is talking about the question. So now the question will be leading to objectives. I'm just continuing with this. For example, the objective would be after the question to identifying the effect of, like I just said, to identify or analyze the effect of daily mindfulness meditation on reducing anxiety levels among college students. It can be graduates, it can be postgraduate, it can be uh, any particular, like you can talk about the women, like female students, you can talk about any particular age, you can talk about any particular uh, family background people, different income level students. So anything is possible, you can customize your topic accordingly. And after that, the easily we can also identify, we can write the hypothesis. So there is a significant, or there is no significant difference of this and that, like you can identify that hypothesis easily. So this is how we can understand the research problem with the example. Now I am focusing on the second part of the today's topic. That is, first part was the problem identification, and another part is art of writing a review of literature. So let's talk about. Again, I'll be talking about the first part, that is abstract, then introduction, then third one comes as review of literature. So review of literature is just a word which gives you, talks about the previous studies, but it is also going to talk about each and every part of the study, and it is involved everywhere. So the review of literature is a summary of all the reviews from various research literatures related to from various research literature related to the current study carried out by a scholar. It can be taken from the books, articles, journal topics, anything. So it helps basically to discover what is already known about the research problem and what more has to be done. Basically, it is talking about the previously done and the currently expected. So the material gathered in the review of literature should be included as a part of the research data, since it influences the research problem and the research design. It can be used to compare the results and the findings for the current study. So basically, when it comes to any of the material which has been gathered while we are doing a review of literature, it should be included as a part of research data, because ultimately it is going to influence or affect your research problem. Also, it is going to affect your research methods. The reason behind, see, if we talk about the introduction part, it also has review of literature, because ultimately from where you're going in introduction, you are not you are just rewriting the introduction. You are just not coming out with the new concepts of in the introduction about that particular topic about which you are going to do the literature in, right? Now, the second part is itself is a review of literature. In the third part, if we talk about that is research methodology. So, whenever you are reading any previous researches, you have to understand that you you are also studying the previous research paper which has different types of methods, also talking about which kind of methods they have used and what kind of results they are getting in out of that. So, because of that, now you have to understand one thing, it is also affecting third part. Once you are doing the analysis, obviously that is also affected in the research methodology, so affecting the indirectly your research analysis. Once the analysis is done, you can also learn it from the literature, how to interpret the data, how to write the interpretation, how different people has written the interpretation of the analysis. Now the next part, that is findings. So findings and discussion. So once you have done your findings, you have to write the discussion, and again the discussion having a big level of literature where they are connecting previously done work, literature review with your current results. So it is a kind of comparison. Like for example, you have done any study and it is talking about some inclination of the results toward females, or having a particular towards something a particular age and having an impact on it. So you have to compare it with the previous studies, whether anybody has done any previous study in in this particular area on such kind of topic, so that you can compare. Like if you are having thinking that it is having an impact on your study, so previously the studies which are done, are they were having the impact, or they were having no impact, were they having any significance or not? So you have to compare your results with those. Now after this, the conclusion comes, where again you can learn to write conclusion, it should how it should be in this particular way it should be. And the last, I must say, whenever you write the references, so that should be mentioned properly. So if you see, the review of literature is playing an important role in each and every part of your study, and playing an important role as the base for your study. So the material gathered in the review literature should be included as a part of research data, as I have said. So it can be used to compare the results and finding for the current study. So there are some more definition about the review literature. It's an assessment of a body of research that addresses a research question, or you can say as it is an organized written presentation of what has been published on a topic by the scholars. So a review of literature is a comprehensive survey of different scholarly sources like books, articles on a particular topic, and also providing an overview of existing knowledge and identifying the gaps so that the key findings can be highlighted. So it is just not the summary, it also involves the analysis, evaluation, critical thinking. So there are various aspects which are included while we are doing the literature reviews. So if we talk about the various sources or resources uh, of the literature review, if we talk about, so there can be so many primary sources and the secondary sources can be there. Like it can be taken from the books, journals, conference papers, theses, encyclopedia, dictionary, research reports, magazines, newspaper, and nowadays the electronic database, e-database is very much important and playing the vital role, I must say, while we are doing any kind of research. Because before going to the libraries, we are visiting to the internet. Everything which is available offline, almost everything is available online too. So primary sources can be there, and there can be some secondary sources. There can be some scholarly articles, any kind of conference papers, as I have said, in conference proceedings can be there. The research reports can be there, government related, any of the research publication reports and all can be there, any official reports which are published, any government reports which are published by different agencies, any particular statistical data, facts and figures. anything is possible. Any policies and programs which are published and showing some facts, theses, dissertations, anything. Like nowadays, again, people are have like from where we have to take the data. So individual websites are there, internet sources are there, where the raw data can be taken. So websites are also providing authentic results sometimes, where we can check out that government official website, you can take it. So dictionaries are there. There are so many things from where you can get the data. Basically, the academic publications we are talking about. So even it can be talked about the primary, secondary, and tertiary sources. Now, let's talk about the characteristics. Excuse me. A good review of literature must be comprehensive. It should be vast, right? It should include up-to-date references. It should be systematic. It should be free from the biases. It should be well written. It should be in the form of sum of its parts. It should be clearly searched and selected, and accurate references should be given while we are talking about the review of literature. So, as I have said, it should have a comprehensive, like vast enough information while we are writing any of the literature review. What should be included, I'll be telling you. All the up-to-date references means the study should be, current study should be also be included in this. Then it should be systematic, like properly it should be done. You should have all the references in text citation for the same. It should be free from the biases. Whenever you are searching the results or expecting or downloading any of the files, so you should find out all type of research, not only which you are liking, because whatever happened in this area may be positive or negative, maybe like uh, in favor to your thinking or perspective, may not be. So it can be anything. So the thoroughness should be there and properly well written it should be. Now it should be in the form of sum of its parts, means different subparts can be done and can be studied uh, very properly. Now, clearly you have to organize the literature. Also, it should be properly searched and selected. As I have said, there should be no biases, at least while you're searching. Then you can, after searching and downloading, or then you can also select if that is something is not of your choice in terms of related to your topic. Basically, it should demonstrate the comprehensive understanding of the subject matter. Also, it should include all type of strengths and weaknesses of different sources, and it should contribute in that particular study. Critical analysis is also very much important while we are doing this kind of uh, review of literature. The language should be proper. The coverage should be there. It should be understandable to the public. A public means the research scholars, especially. So you have to define what is exactly up, how exactly the research problem is all about, and you have to focus on the factual information. You should be, before adding any data to your study, you have to identify its the right source. Now, if we talk about the purpose, the purpose of the literature review is basically first is to collect the relevant and the timely research on a chosen topic. Okay, just a minute. Yeah. So the purpose of a literature review is just not only the collect the relevant information, but yeah, it should be timely on a particular topic. Also, it should provide a summary of your existing knowledge of the field. So it helps to identify what is already known about a research problem. It also helps build on the previous knowledge, like it recommendation for the future research from which we can get the idea for a new research and studies talk about this particular point. As I have already mentioned about the format of a research paper, that where I talked about introduction, review of literature, research methodology, analysis, interpretation, finding, discussion, conclusion. Here, I would like to add that in the conclusion, there are again four parts which are included, or I must say, I always like to focus on these, that every review of literature, every conclusion has its extended part or extended conclusion, I must say. One is limitations of the study, another one is suggestions and recommendations. Next one is implications of the study, implication to the society, to the researchers, or all the stakeholders related to that study. And in the last, I must say, there is a last one, that is a future research scope, which I have mentioned here, that many published research studies contain recommendation for the future research, or research for the future research scope, or scope for the future research, one in the same thing. So as I have said, conclusion has four parts: limitation, implications, suggestions, and the future research scope. So again, I would like to focus on this. See, every person whoever doing the study, like I'm telling you, the way you are beginning from the very basic and you are coming to the last, that is conclusion. So somehow you, whenever you are coming to the conclusion, you have gone through a number of things, like you have faced challenges, there were so many limitations you have written, there were so many things which you would like to recommend or suggest to others, so that is also included. Then also there are your studies somehow contributing to different parts or stakeholders like society, researchers, and other people. Like if you're doing study in banks, so bank and bankers, employees and employers, anyone can be the part of where you are contributing in whichever area. And the last one, when we talk about the future research scope, it talks about after doing all this, you still thinking that there is something left which you could not include in your study, so that should be written by every scholar in the future research scope. Now let me tell you why. Whenever you are writing the remaining thing in your research future research scope, anybody whoever is thinking in this direction in this kind of area may take those suggestions for the future research, recommendation for doing the future research, and you can, that person can take and do the research on that. Even you yourself can take that particular part which is remaining and can proceed your studies, any research further. Okay, now again, one more thing, like somebody is taking from your study, so whenever you will be studying any previous literatures, any previous research papers, you must already have been observed all these things in previous research papers. So you also can take ideas from different future studies, future research scope for the from the previous literatures, and that can help you defining and clarifying, and I must say refining your research problem. So everyone is uh, in that case, again, you don't need to read everything from the any particular paper. Again, you can go directly to the future research scope and you can see what is still left. Then you can come out to the your research question and problems. So writing the future research scope is very much important. Also, it helps to understand what is not done, and you can what is already done and what is not done, so that you can also define your study or area, and it can help you to avoid the duplication. So it is necessary to narrow down the problem to be studied. Then how to write a review of literature? So it can be in different ways. It can be in a chronological order, it can be in a thematic way. As such, there are so many ways of writing the literature review, but there are two main types. One is chronological, means you have to write the review of literature chronologically. Means ascending order or the descending order. So you can also start writing a literature data collected from the previous to the updated one, or you can start from current or recent studies to the previous. Generally, people write recent first and then they go to the basically in the descending order, means the current one to the back ones. So chronological order can be followed. So current study should be in front, and then you can uh, use the another one. Then there can be thematic. In this, basically, just a second. Like in this, basically, you can choose different ways. Uh, for example, you have taken a study of HRM in particular area or in the banks, for example. So again, you have to write the literature review. You can write or divide your parts of the literature review. Like first, you can write literature on human resource management. Then you can write on the banks. Then HRM in banks. Then HRM in banks in India. You can also write international perspective of the same. So different themes can be decided. If you are having three particular, like work life balance, work life stress, and the family, and the work, like managing the office, especially in IT sector. So again, you are having some topics like work life balance. You can talk about work life stress. You can talk about the employee engagement or employee management or work life balance. Everything can be defined. The combinations can be defined, and this is how it can be done. So again, in the thematic also, you can follow chronological order. Now, structure of a literature review. So it should, the one literature review should have one thing, that is introduction. Just a minute. One is, first you have to write the introduction. I'm talking about each and every literature review should have, not the whole chapter. Each and every single literature in a literature review chapter should have one introduction, what methods they have followed, what body is means, what is included in the methods, and everything you can write. Then you have to discuss and write the conclusion, whatever that particular study has been done. And don't forget to provide the references for the same. Basically, whenever you are talking about the introduction, so you have to set some context. What is the field of study? What is the chosen topic in the field, that particular field? Then what method has been followed by that particular scholar in the information provided. Again, the body have a chronological model which has different paragraph. It can have a different time periods. A thematic model can be provided. And finally, you have to summarize the main contribution of the significance of these studies. And the last, you have to prepare a complete reference list for the same. So you have to select a topic, you have to search the literature, then you have to develop the arguments, then you have to survey the literatures, then critique the literature by yourself or with the help of your peers, and finally you can write the reviews. So a well conducted literature review aims to demonstrate the familiarity with the existing body of knowledge. It should identify the gap or inconsistencies if there is any, establishing a theoretical framework for the research. You have to position your study within a context of the existing research, and you have to finally you have to justify the significance of your research question or objectives or the hypothesis you have framed. Now, there are so many scholars or people ask about the length of a literature review. So let me tell you, as such, there is no particular length of a literature review, but yes, it can be defined in a particular way, where we talk about the length of a literature review in a particular way. we can understand a idea at how it can be written. Like if we are, it is a part of PhD or any dissertation, review of literature can be comprehensive enough and covering all type of research on that particular topic for, I can say, around 25 pages to 30 pages of the literature length it can be. When it comes to any particular proposal, or it can be about a research project, so it covers the different aspects. So it should be reasonably comprehensive. Mean it should not be that much big, but it can be comprehensive enough for doing this. And it can include again like 5 to 9 pages, 10 pages, not more than that. But when it comes to a research project or a research report or a research paper, so again 3 4 pages, 5 6 pages is more than enough for a research paper to have the literature review. Sometimes the conferences and the journals are having a particular limit as well, so you can follow that limit of number of pages or words. Otherwise, it is a general idea about this particular literature length you can talk about. Now, some points to remember. So, literature review must be well written in a formal and academic style. Then, you have to keep the writing clear and concise. Aim to the objectives, and you try to, or not try, you should be respectful to the other's opinion. It might be possible whatever you are thinking, it is not in the same way, and it can have a different perspective, but you should not put it, or you should not write it in that way that others study will be disrespectful, or they are not feeling good about it. Now, when introducing someone's opinion, don't use says or like this. You can use different viewpoints, such as like argues, claims, or states. You can write such kind of words which are professionally acceptable. So your literature review should present your synthesis of your previous research and also lay down the foundation for understanding your research and appreciating its value. If in the like if we talk about the plagiarism in the literature, again you should also avoid this at every point of your study. So at all times, avoid the plagiarism of your sources. Always separate your source opinions from the hypothesis and make sure you're consistently referring or providing the reference to your literature review. Also, whenever you are doing your reading or making notes, it might be a good idea to use different colors and distinguish between your ideas and others' opinion so that you can avoid the plagiarism totally. So, if we talk about the conclusion or concluding the literature review, let me talk about it. You have to summarize the ideas, conflicts, and the themes or historical periods. You can relate and contextualize your thesis with the work reported in the literature. You have to point out the gaps specifically in the so that you can show how your research helps or it is filling the gaps. Obviously, you should also try to evaluate the quality of your literature. Then transition to the next chapter, because it is going to take you from one chapter to another one. So it is a transition to the next chapter. So by providing a reason why this work is being done and how, so you should always make sure that you are providing a proper critical analysis of the work, which goes beyond the summarizing existing literature, but also providing insightful analysis, evaluation, and synthesis of the same. So it basically, a literature review critically examines the strength, weaknesses, and gaps in the existing literature. So thank you so much, everyone. This is all about literature review from my side. Now I am open for the open session for the question answer round. If you are having any question, you want to discuss something, or you want to add something to it, you can talk about it. Let me know.
Hello, ma'am. My name is Dr. Nisha Singh. I want to know how to write systematic literature review.
You want to know the writing the systematic literature review?
How to write SLR? Exactly SLR. How to do work on this?
Okay, let me tell you. So, ma'am, there are various types of literature reviews. If we talk about specifically the systematic literature review, so there are some steps. There is step by step we have to go. So there can be like you have to obviously understand the basically you have to understand your question first of all. You have to search all the databases, and then you have to go for like a screening that your topic is properly done or not. Then you have to extract the data, you have to assess the quality. Then just a second. Then you have to finalize and collect the particular findings. Is that okay, ma'am? You got the answer?
Okay, okay.
You want more clarity on it?
Yes, ma'am. Little bit. I want more quality, and if I am looking for a research question and research objective, so how to finalize this literature reviews related with this problem? Because there are lots of literature review available in offline and online both sides. So how to
Yes.
uh, conclude this is the SLR for me.
See, ma'am, what I should suggest you that you should write, you should basically, try for one thing, that is preparing an Excel sheet for the same. Okay. And what you can do is, if basically whenever you are preparing any particular sheet or something like that, you can put it like that. That whatever paper you have taken, okay, so from the first column, you can start writing who has done it, like which study you are taking. After that, you can write the author name and everything, the year it has been done, what is the topic, all the points from a literature. Like you can every single column related to all the points which are like as I have said the format of a research paper. So all the columns should be made, and you can start studying in that particular way so that you can issue so that you will be able to compare all type of studies. For example, what type of topics they have taken, which different topics were there, and after that what methodology has been followed by different author, and what was the difference between different methodologies, what kind of outcomes they have, the findings they have received, and what they have concluded, what kind of objectives they were having in different studies. So this is how you can compare and properly it can be done systematically.
Thank,
You can, yeah.
thank you so much. Thank you. It is
Yes, ma'am.
clear for me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you,
Very
ma'am.
wonderful session, ma'am. Thank you. It's very knowledgeable. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Anyone is having any question? If you are not able to speak up, you can also put it down in the chat box. Also, if you are having any particular uh, feedback about it, you can also tell me about it, and you can share your particular specific knowledge to the same. Any question you can ask me?
Ma'am, good evening, ma'am. This is Rashmi.
Yeah.
Ma'am, actually, I want to know, as a PhD scholar, if I'm doing a review paper before I submit my thesis, like this is the initial stage that I'm in right now. So, in case I
Mhm.
want to submit a review paper, how many papers do I need to refer, ma'am?
See, ma'am, I must say there is no limit of anything. As many as you can find out, first of all, as many as you can collect, do it. Then, when you will start reading it, you will be able to understand that yes, you will be able to understand basically that what exactly like which paper is actually relevant to your study. So then only you will be see what happens. Like sometimes we buy a number of things together, or we see various things, and but we have to buy only two or three. So when we know the limit, we can do it. But when we don't know the limit, but still we have to concise ourselves, or we have to keep us limited. So what you can do is, you can simply just one by one go for the review. One literature paper, you just watch it and write one review on that. Second paper, take it, as I am suggesting you, you can also make an Excel. Also, there are various tools from which you can take the help. So in this particular way, you one by one, you have to review. So sometimes you will see that that some of the literature or the paper is not relevant to you, so you can automatically remove that. So number of reviews are not that important. The important is that how meaningful and they are important and relevant to your study. Apart from that, whenever you are doing, so as I had told you about the number of pages, you can also keep that in your mind to keep it in the limit. That's it.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Any other question? Isn't writing review paper about writing bibliometric analysis of the topic in question? Isn't there is one question that is not writing review paper about writing bibliometric. No, so totally the bibliometric analysis is totally different. There are some sessions are happening by the Research of Foundation of India. We are talking about the bibliometric analysis. If somebody is having a question related to this, if like I think the question is related to review of literature, but if you are going to talk about the bibliometric analysis, you should attend that session so that you can have the clarity on bibliometric analysis. Specifically, they are having a session on it. Somebody has written about, like, can you please elaborate the research gap with an example? So see, as I have already given the example of you for you about the topic, research question and research problem, research question. So basically, a research gap. See, you have seen that I'm just giving you one basic example of our daily life. Generally, females used to go for the shopping, general shopping, so we just pick anything. But when we go for a proper shopping and we are having lacking something, so how would you identify that we are having this, we are having these kind of clothes, we are having this kind of clothes, what we are not having, we are going for that. So what will you do? You will open your almirah wardrobe and open or see what clothes you are having right now. So you have to check out like this. When it comes to research gap, so what kind of literature, like you have something in your mind that you want to go for this, so that keyword is there. Now you have to search that what exactly is already done in that area and what is you are trying to find out. So that is a research gap where you are thinking about what exactly has not been done till now. So it is a question, it is a research problem, basically it's a research gap which that till now which has not been addressed by anyone. Okay, so basically it's a kind of missing piece of something, a missing piece of knowledge. So that's a research gap. So there are some people who are asking, I think Muni Swami, have you, I think you have got the answer.
Yeah,
There
I
are
got
some
the
people
answer. Thank you
asking.
so much. Thank you
Yeah,
so
thank
much.
you. Yeah, there are so many people who are asking about the feedback form link. So there is no feedback link and there is no attendance every day. It would be done in the last. So whatever the information is there will be provided by the Research Foundation of India. So don't worry about it.
Ma'am, I have a question. Hello.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Carry on.
This is Victoria Gomes. Ma'am, I have a question. Are there any preferred structure for literature reviews in physics journals? Like versus interdisciplinary publications?
Sorry?
I'm saying that are there any preferred structures for literature reviews in physics journals versus interdisciplinary journals or publications?
Ma'am, what I have seen, see I'm not, I cannot tell you about specifically about the physics, but what do I understand is when it comes to any journal, some humanities, sociology, or such kind of subject which is related to more theoretical, and
Okay.
there can be different which can be more practical. So the literature review has a searching of the literature review can be same, but obviously the materials and methods are different, the
Okay.
sources are very different, and obviously writing of both kind of literature is different in terms of writing, because in the first one, in the theoretical subject, they are providing the theories and some content. In another one, there are some formulas and some practices, the methods, the materials which you have gathered, the experiments have been done. So that's a different way of writing, but all of them are doing the same kind of thing. You also have to find out which kind of experiments have been done,
Hmm.
what earlier has
Yes.
been done, and then you have
Hmm.
to write.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, welcome. There is someone who have asked, hello ma'am, what should be included in the abstract of the paper? So here I have one talk about it. Let me tell you in a short that abstract should have basic uh, definition of your topic. Also, it should include what methodology you are going to follow, what you have followed basically. Once it is, the work is done, then only you can prepare the abstract. So what kind of methodology you have followed, who are your respondent, what kind of objectives you have taken, what has been found out by your study. So abstract should be including all these things. Is that okay?
Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I want to ask that there is a WhatsApp link has been given in the, in the mail itself, in the invitation mail, but it is not working. Actually, I'm not able to, go through the link. I'm not able to join there.
Okay, I request Research Foundation of India team members to provide the WhatsApp group link to the people who have not joined. Ma'am, generally who have filled the registration and everything, they have got it, so they will be
Yes, yes,
taking
I
care
have
of
also
this.
got it. I filled the registration long back itself, and I received the link, but I'm not able to join.
Yes,
Okay,
madam.
I'll do. You
Exactly.
can
I
do.
have also got the link, but I am unable to join the group, madam. Yogi
Okay,
sir, please
fine.
share the link once again in the chat box.
Okay.
Even
Team
it is
RFI,
not
please.
working.
I think Dr. Neha Jain ma'am has posted. Follow that link.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other question? Okay. I hope there is no question. So Neha ma'am, can we sum up?
Yeah, ma'am. So, as we conclude today's session, we want to express our heartfelt appreciation to every participant and a special thank you to our esteemed speaker, Dr. Ankita ma'am, for sharing her invaluable insights. We also extend our sincere gratitude to the organizing committee and sponsors for their unwavering support. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, ma'am.